Hello, and it's time for another homebrew review. This time I've been sent a beer from Sarah at Daft Brewing. It's using an experimental British hop, a new one called GP75, which was developed by Stocks Farm, which I've been wanting to try myself as a home brewer, but because it's so limited in stock, it's quite expensive to buy in small, and you have to buy in small amounts. So Sarah happened to buy it and like the profile of it, so she brewed a beer with it and asked if any of us would like to try some, and I was like, hell yeah. So the bottle there, GP75 experimental hop pale ale, brewed 2nd of October and bottled from the keg on the 18th of November, so that's a little while ago now. A few weeks it's been in the bottle. The bottle's a little bit squidgy, so I think, you know, it might not be that carbonated, but it doesn't really matter. It's all about the hop flavour and aroma that we're going for in this one. I've just taken this out of the fridge. As you can see, it's pretty cold. So the grist, pale ale malt, Marisota wheat, and caramel or crystal 30. Columbus first wort hop, Chinook 90-minute boil hop, and then Woolflock tablet. I don't know why I said that, but yeah, Woolflock tablet with 5 minutes to go, and then GP75 25 grams with the last 5 minutes to go, and a 75 gram dry hop. Okay, so if you don't know Sarah, well, where have you been? If you go on her channel, I was about to say Big Cat, Daft Cat Brewing, then you, she's got all sorts of really good stuff on there. Recently went to BrewCon London, and she's got a lot of the lectures on there. We did a little video series together with Dave the Welsh Brewer on I've forgotten his name. That's really bad. The Geeky Dad's channel, Will's channel. We did a little series. I think we only did about 2 videos together. There were going to be more, but time constraints and stuff. She's also did a series on off flavors in beer, which is, you know, things like diacetyl, butyric acid, that kind of thing. So it's worth checking her channel out. So that's Daft Cat Brewing. Anyway, I'm going to crack this beer open because it's almost 3 minutes into the video. So here we go. And oh my goodness, right, tiny hiss. Obviously everyone into the pool because it's from the keg. It looks very clear. I'm going to go for an aggressive pour. Lovely colour. It's a pretty pale coloured beer. Obviously it's so cold that you're getting condensation on here. Lovely and clear, as you would expect. The head, there's a little head on there actually. Carbonation that we're seeing coming up through the glass there is carbonation there. So this is obviously cold, so I apologise. Not getting much there. Maybe a little citrus note to it. So GP75. Some people have said it's potentially like a British Centennial, which, if you know British terroir, I can't even say it, terroir of hops, you're not likely to get something close to Centennial, which is pretty much a super cascade. It's going to have a bit of a noble kind of British hop character to it, but it could be like maybe like a super Challenger or something. You know, Challenger's got kind of a marmalade-y note to it, but if it could be like a more upped version of that, then it could be something. There is a nice character to it there on the nose now. There's a citrus note. Anyway, I'm gonna enjoy it. So thanks, Sarah. Wow. Okay. That's nice. That's a nice hop. I think that could be nicely paired with something like Jester and Pioneer, which I've used recently. So there's some of the newer varieties of hops that we've got here in the UK that are kind of going a bit more towards the kind of American style. Yeah, that's nice. I think on its own it might not be exactly a star of the show. Oh yeah, hang on. Now that it's warming up a little bit, there's almost like a little dankness to it. Maybe a little. I almost wanted to say like a green onion or something to it, which adds a little bit of a complexity to it. But that could be the Columbus. That could be the Columbus actually coming through. That kind of like dankness that you get from Columbus. That might be what I was getting there. Oh yeah, you get that on the nose. So that might be muddying the waters a little bit. Especially as it's a first wort hop. When you get a first wort hop, sometimes you can get some of the flavours and maybe even some of the aromas through. Although I would have thought the aromatics in a 90-minute boil would have been, eradicated or at least, reduced. So I don't know when, because Chinook was also involved. Again, as a bittering hop, I suppose. So yeah, but there is a little bit of that dankness that you get from Columbus. It'd be interesting to know if that is GP75. I guess we wouldn't ever know unless this was a smash beer, but it's more of a showcase beer, this one. But that's really pleasant. It's such a clean beer. There's a little bit of the caramel, like the caramel kind of note coming through to it, which gives it a tiny little bit of sweetness. I think it's lovely, nicely balanced. The bitterness is spot on for me. Could have done with a bit more carbonation, but that's a minor thing, and there's nothing to do with the actual brewing of the beer itself. I know Sarah had a few issues with the beer freezing. I think she had an issue when she was cold crashing, or something happened with the keg. I can't remember if it was in the fermenter or in the keg, but yeah, it caused a little bit of an issue. I'm just going to give it one more go just to get another aroma on it. Yeah, you get citrus. I mean, some people say grapefruit, they get grapefruit from it. I'm getting a bit more like a marmaladiness, like I said about Challenger, but just a bit more. Well, maybe, yeah, grapefruit. No, I'm getting grapefruit in the flavour, definitely. Yeah, that's really nice. Really nice. Stocks Farm, please put it into production. I'd love to see a lot more of this. There's a lot of the new hops coming through now from the UK breeding programme. I've heard good things about Godiva or Godiva. There's another one which had a bit of an experimental name on it, but that one sounded really good. But I think they're saying some of the commercial brewers still haven't quite figured out how to work with it. But it again sounds a lot more new worldy or sort of American style. So this is a cracking beer. I'm glad I picked to drink this evening, because I'm gonna enjoy this in a few minutes, and it's not gonna last long. So thanks again, Sarah, and I will catch you guys for another homebrew review very soon. Cheers.